Good day and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about mounting hard bodies to your vehicles, how to do it, what type of chassis work best, and is there much fiddling to do? Okay, so easy enough to do this. This is very easy to do on this model. So that's the 10 III. This is the JLU kit. The reason why I chose this is it is more spec'd to build scale trucks of this configuration, as the transmission and the gearbox and everything sits quite low like a real truck does, and the motor sits high, allowing for it to be put together very well. The body itself uses the posts from the bumper, which slides directly into where the post for the bumper should, which holds it in place. You're going to want to use M4 screw and some hot glue to reinforce this plastic, because this is not strong plastic. It's not nylon. And on the back, we have axial body posts that I had put with hot glue to tack it into place. All you do is you put the body on where you want it to sit, and then find out where your mounts go, put the mount in, and then turn the truck upside down, and then tack it. So just like this. Then you just tack it, and after that dries, you shoe glue a couple layers of shoe glue on there, and that'll hold it nice and tight. Now, that is it. It is really simple, really easy to do. You can see down there is where the shock mounts, I put them through the body and cut into it. Other than that, the stock interior for this vehicle, for this body, didn't work very well. The firewall was getting in the way, so I just used Enduro, or one of those cheaper knockoff Proline interiors. They were like, I don't know, 11 bucks or something like that on AliExpress. Very cheap. The nice thing about this is you get the detail of the motor bay. Get this open here. See, right there. You can paint that however you want, and you can even extend the fender wells if you want. So, that is the Chevy body. Here we have one of the Enduro hard body that I'm sure that many of you have seen online. It is done pretty much the exact same way. Only the front required me to tack in body post mounts. I did it the exact same way, and we have a bit of styrene here to cover up the gap in the body, because this is actually higher, sits higher than the rest of the body. This body had been cut up prior because I had this on a SCX10 II, which I actually sold. I kept the body though. Again, I cut here for the body mount, or for the shock hoops, and tacked on the back. Quite easy to put on. It just slips on right there. Get that on camera. Doing this one-handed. There, pops in, and then you just put in the body clips just like that. This does have all the JLU side guards, so I didn't change any of that. I think that was pretty much the only real changes I made. I did change the position of the receiver box and the battery mounts in the back, but all in all, I'm like, again, worked pretty easy. The SCX10 III is really good for doing this. I've heard the 410 Phoenix also works very well. But all right, let's check out another truck. Okay, here we have the RC4 wheel drive extended cab 87 Toyota. It's the same deal. Again, this is a 10 III. Now, I made this into a mud truck with quite large tires, and in order for all that to fit, I actually had to keep the body raised just a little bit like a real mud truck. So, you can see here, right where those body mounts are for the RC4 wheel drive, this little piece here is just a piece of Lexan that's painted black on the backside, and it works quite well for hiding the fact that it is a raised body. All the electronics are in the standard place. It's got the full interior. Marty McFly's in there. It's got nice shock setup. Again, done the same way. I put in, I tacked it, and then I used shoe goo to secure it on the front and under the rear. And it's fully operational. Leaves even room for my servo winch. Really great body, really liked it. Oh, on a side note, these knockoff axles, those housings are great. I took out all the equipment that was in there, like the gearing and everything, because it was way too high of gearing, and then I replaced it with the stock stuff, which is complete, like just a complete swap over. So that was pretty nice for $100 Canadian. I got 2 of those axles, and gives the added weight to the truck, and they're actually quite nice. They have link risers on them, pretty good. All right, time to move on to our next vehicle. Now I know everybody's seen these bodies. This is the Enduro Jeep Cherokee body that I've done up. This is a really nice paint job on this one. Now, this I used a little bit different mounting, as it's got a swing top on it. So the body does come with like these L brackets in the back here. And I just made it so I can swing it up. Now, I did buy an aftermarket metal 10 III mount system for the front. Or actually, this is a rear mount system. And I put that on the front of this SCX10 II. But again, all I had to do was tack in some posts. And lo and behold, look at that. Perfect fit. No problems at all. And this makes a very nice scale looking truck. If you're wondering about these tires, these are a Rock Beast knockoff. And the reason why I chose those is they do have good hold. They're nice and soft. But they are a little bit smaller than a 475. Hang on. So you can see, that's a 475. It's a bit taller, which doesn't really give that much of a scale look. So I wanted something a little bit bigger than a 419, but not that small. So that was a good size for this vehicle. Next up, we have my Toyota Land Cruiser body. I know a lot of you have seen these, and I wonder how exactly that works. Usually you can buy the body for about $100. Comes with the windows, the mirrors, and all that. All of the metal components like ladders and swinging doors, those are extra. I did use coloring on this. That is not actually black, that's tinted. Just so you can see there. And so is the front. Gives it a nice, more dramatic feel to it. I'm using 419s on this. Now, this also has a mounting kit you can buy for the TRX4 or the SCX10, which also can work with an Element, which I used to have up on that body up there. Whoop, right in the middle. I'm currently selling that one. But the mounting system I had to adjust that's got quite a bit of adjustments on it, but I put on a different bumper on the front. So that's a mounting system for the back. So it's got 2 posts there. And those posts fit directly into the body. So it just kind of like screws in, and then you screw it in, and then you just mount it. And then put in some screws on the bottom here, which secure it right there. So it's actually got a slider that goes back and forth, so you can reposition your body in different ways. And those nubs actually have spacers to move it up and down or closer together. I used a different bumper. So I actually cut the bumper off the front of this body, which was a stock bumper. And again, I have glued the body mounts on in place and then shoe gooed it. Looks a little messy on that side, but this side you really don't see it. All I had to do was drill 2 holes into the bumper. You can see I messed up there, but you can't see it. And right there. And that just allows it to fit on the front. So that's the Land Rover body for the TRX4, which I fixed with a different body. It's not really on there 100% right now, but it looks really nice when it's fully in place. All right, next vehicle. All right, up next, this is a Redcat Gen 8. This is a Ford Raptor body. That body is made out of PVC. It's all panels that you have to screw together. I know that this is not my best paint job. I kind of mucked it up, so I just went for this kind of, it's more of a batch truck anyway. But you can see it's all put together. You got screws everywhere. I did reinforce it with shoe goo. That way it doesn't vibrate apart. As you can see here, all the side panels, the hood's all separated from the bumper and everything. So this truck actually uses a combination of sliding into the front, right there, slides into the front, and a very simple setup. I drilled holes through the back of the box. It's hidden there. And then all we do is put the posts through. Very simple, very easy to do, very effective body mounting system. Doesn't come off. Looks really good. I wanted to find a good system for this truck. I was having a real issue trying to mount it to other vehicles of the same 324 millimeter wheelbase, and the Redcat ended up being the most effective chassis to go with that body that I could find. Sure, there's other ways of doing it, but this was the most effective for this truck to get it as scale looking as I could with the tires I wanted. I didn't want to have to do a whole lot of trimming. So yeah, anytime that you're getting a body, you kind of want to just make sure you're doing a little amount of change as possible, unless you're actually going to, or else you're going to end up with a really, really bad hack job. But yeah, all right, next truck. Next up, we got this little Jeep. And look who's driving. Yep, I'm going to see some happy little trees. This was a complete scratch build, pretty much. The chassis was bought on AliExpress, but it was made for a D90. So it's a 275 mil wheelbase, which I had to actually build myself with standoffs. You can see under here. And these are some older axles I had purchased. They all have axial in drive shafts and gearing in them. Axial wild bore 8s and side what do you call those? Side skids, I guess. So the body mounting system is actually interesting because it tucks into the front bumper, and I've actually made, let's get a better angle there, 2 sides and reinforced with shoe goo again. Shoe goo is amazing, very strong hold on both sides, so that the body centers quite nicely. Okay, so there and on the other side, it slides right in there. And then on the back side, I put 2 drill holes with some styrene, and all I have to do is swing these open, and the body comes right off. Okay, apologize, just like that. And that's the body right there, and this is the chassis. Very simple chassis. That is an AX10 aftermarket, and this is kind of funny on how this is built. There's a shock hoop here, but on the other side, the transmission is the shock hoop, and it just managed to be the perfect setup for that. Now, this is a 4-link suspension on the front with a servo mounted onto the chassis. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's only got 70 millimeter shocks, so there is like literally no bump steer, so it doesn't really matter. Very capable little rig though. Nice overdrive on it. A lot of little aftermarket tidbits here and there. A lot of this stuff is parts you would find, cheap stuff from China. But yeah, it works really, really, really well. So if you're interested in building one of these little things, I think that was like about 30 bucks. The most expensive thing on here are probably the drive shafts and the internals for the axles. And that would be it. Everything else was about 30 bucks. Even the chassis kit was like $30. So that was pretty interesting. Okay, lastly, this isn't actually how to mount this as much as it's a hack for mounting it. With the TF2 bodies, one of the easiest ways to do it is just to put grub screws on the posts and then slide them into their holes. This allows for quick and easy access. The body relatively never comes off, and makes it a lot easier to manage. But I think that is all the bodies I have. Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much all of them for hard body conversions. So please like and subscribe. I have many other RCs, and I talk about various different things. All right, have a good day.